Have you ever stopped to wonder why you are the way you are? Not just the clothes you pick or the games you like, but deep down, what makes you smile, what makes you frown, and why some things just feel right or wrong to you. It's like there's a secret map hidden inside each of us, a map that shows us who we truly are and why we do the things we do. But most of us never really look at it. We live our lives day by day, without ever really exploring this hidden world within. Imagine for a moment that your mind isn't just one room, but a vast, old house. Some rooms are bright and sunny, filled with things you know and love. These are the parts of yourself you show to everyone. But then there are other rooms, tucked away, maybe a little dusty, or even locked. These rooms hold secrets, forgotten memories, and feelings you might not even know you have. They are just as much a part of you as the sunny rooms, but they stay hidden, shaping you from the shadows. This hidden map, this vast house of our minds, is what we're going to explore today. We're going to ask big questions, questions that make us think about our dreams, our fears, and even the stories we love. Why do some stories feel so true, even if they're about dragons or magic? Why do we sometimes feel a pull to do something new, even if it's a little scary? These feelings and stories are all clues on our hidden map, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves. It's a journey many people never start, but it's the most important one we can ever take. It's a journey to become truly ourselves. This journey into the secret rooms of our minds, this quest to understand our hidden map, was something a very wise man named Carl Jung thought a lot about. He was a thinker who looked deeply into how our minds work, not just the parts we can see, but also the parts that are like whispers in the dark or pictures in our dreams. Jung called this special journey individuation. It's a big word. Individuation. But it means something quite simple and beautiful. Becoming the unique person you were always meant to be. Think of a tiny acorn. It holds inside it the blueprint of a mighty oak tree. Individuation is like that acorn slowly, carefully, growing into its full, strong self, not trying to be a maple or a pine, but a true oak. It's not about being selfish or just doing what you want. Instead, it's about listening to that quiet, inner voice that knows what's best for your own growth. Jung believed that each of us has a natural push to become whole, to bring all the different parts of ourselves together. The bright, sunny rooms of our minds and the dusty, locked ones, they all belong. Individuation is the process of opening those locked doors, dusting off what's inside, and bringing it into the light. It's about understanding why you feel a certain way, why you dream certain things, and why some stories or symbols just speak to your heart. It's not a race or a competition, it's a personal path, winding and sometimes difficult, but always leading you closer to your most authentic self. It's like discovering the special song only you can sing, and then learning to sing it loud and clear. While the idea of growing into your true self, like an acorn becoming an oak, sounds wonderful, Jung also taught us something very important. This path of individuation is not always easy. In fact, it can be quite dangerous. Think of it like walking through a deep, old forest, where the path is winding and full of surprises. There are bright clearings, but also dark, shadowy parts where you might feel lost or scared. This isn't a simple stroll in the park. It's a journey that asks you to be brave and look at things you might rather keep hidden. You might find parts of yourself that you don't like, or memories that feel a bit thorny. It's like finding old, dusty boxes in those hidden rooms of your mind, and some of them might hold things that make you feel uncomfortable. This can be scary because it challenges how you see yourself and the world. Sometimes, the path twists and turns in ways you didn't expect. You might have to change your mind about things you thought were true, or let go of old ways of thinking that no longer serve you. This letting go can feel like losing a part of yourself, even if it's for the better. It's like an old tree shedding its leaves in autumn to make way for new growth in spring. The path of individuation asks for courage, for a willingness to face the unknown parts of yourself, and to accept all that you find. It's a journey that can shake you up, But it's through these challenges that you grow stronger and become more truly yourself. It's dangerous, yes, but the reward is a life lived with more truth and wholeness. One of the most challenging parts of this winding path of individuation is facing something Jung called the shadow. Imagine you're a child, and sometimes you worry there's a monster under your bed. It's scary because you can't quite see it, but you know it's there, just out of sight. The shadow is a bit like that monster, but it's not under your bed, it's inside you. The shadow is all the parts of ourselves that we don't like, or that we think are bad, so we try to hide them away. It could be feelings like anger or jealousy, or maybe times when we're clumsy or not very kind. We push these parts into those dark, locked rooms of our mind, hoping they'll just disappear. But they don't. Instead, they stay there, hidden, and sometimes they pop out when we least expect it, making us say or do things we regret. We all have a shadow. It's not something only bad people have, it's a natural part of being human. Think about a time you got really mad, or maybe felt a little bit mean, and then felt bad about it. Those feelings are often connected to your shadow. We try to be good and polite, and that's important, but if we pretend the not so good parts don't exist, they can become even stronger in the dark. Jung taught that the shadow isn't truly evil. It often holds a lot of energy and power that, if we could understand it, could actually help us. But first, we have to be brave enough to look at it, to shine a light into those hidden corners. This is often the first big step on the dangerous path of individuation, turning to face what we've been trying so hard to avoid. So, if the shadow is all those parts we try to hide, what do we do with it? Jung taught us that the first brave step on this dangerous path of individuation is to actually face our shadow. It's not about fighting it or making it disappear, but more like making friends with your hidden self. Imagine that monster under the bed is actually a lonely puppy, just wanting to be seen and understood. This doesn't mean you should go around being mean or angry all the time. It means you recognize those feelings are a part of you. When you feel a flash of anger, instead of pushing it down and pretending it's not there, you can stop and say, "Ah, there's my anger. Why is it here right now?" By doing this, you're not letting the anger control you, you're taking away its secret power. You're shining a light into that dark room. Making friends with your shadow is about accepting all of who you are, the good parts and the parts that are a bit messy. It's like inviting all the different guests in your mind's house to the same party. When you do this, you start to feel more whole. You realize that the energy locked up in those hidden parts isn't bad, it's just energy. It can be used for good things, like being strong when you need to be, or standing up for yourself. This act of facing and understanding your shadow takes courage, but it makes you stronger and more real. It's the first big step towards truly knowing yourself and walking the path of individuation with open eyes, ready for whatever twists and turns come next. It is the start of a deep, honest conversation with your entire self. While facing our shadow is a brave first step, the path of individuation has other challenges, too. One of these is something Jung called the persona. Think of the word persona, like a mask. In old plays, actors wore masks to show if they were a hero, a villain, or a funny character. In our daily lives, we all wear masks too, but not always on our faces. Our persona is the mask we wear for the world. It's the part of ourselves we show to others, the way we want people to see us. Maybe you're always the funny one in your group, or the smart one in class, or the helpful one at home. These are all parts of your persona. It helps us fit in, get along, and be successful in the world. And that's okay. We need a persona to navigate life. But sometimes, we can get stuck behind our mask. We might start to believe that the mask is us, and we forget who we really are underneath. If you always try to be the strong one, you might hide your feelings when you're sad or scared. If you always try to be the smart one, you might be afraid to ask questions or try new things where you might not know all the answers. This can stop us from being truly real, not just with others, but with ourselves. When we cling too tightly to our persona, it can hide our true self, just like a heavy curtain hides a beautiful window. The path of individuation asks us to understand our persona, to know when we're wearing it and why, but also to remember that it's not the whole story of who we are. It's about finding a balance, being able to wear the mask when needed, but also being able to take it off and let our true, whole self shine through. What's truly amazing is that these ideas of the shadow, the persona, and the journey to become your true self aren't just new thoughts from Jung. He found them echoed in stories that are as old as time itself. Think about all the myths and old tales from different cultures around the world. From ancient Greece to faraway lands in Asia, from the stories our grandparents told to the big movies we watch today, we see the same patterns. These stories often feature a hero on a quest. This hero usually starts out a bit ordinary, maybe even a little lost or unsure of themselves. But then, something happens. A wise old wizard gives them a task, a magical map appears, or a dragon needs to be faced. Sound familiar? This hero's journey is very much like our own path of individuation. The hero often has to face scary monsters or dark wizards, which are like our own shadows. They might have to pretend to be someone they're not for a while, like wearing a disguise or a mask, which is their persona. And through all these challenges, they don't just win a treasure or save a kingdom, they change. They become stronger, wiser, and more truly themselves. They integrate all their experiences, good and bad, into who they are. Jung believed that these stories aren't just make-believe. They are like deep wells of wisdom that our minds have always known. They show us the patterns of growth and change that are built into every human being. When we hear these myths, something deep inside us says, "Yes, I know that feeling," or "I understand that journey." These ancient tales are like guidebooks for our own dangerous path of individuation, reminding us that we are not alone in our struggles to become whole. They are the collective dreams of humanity, showing us the way. These ancient stories, these myths and legends, are full of special pictures and ideas that Jung called symbols. These symbols aren't just pretty drawings, they are like secret codes that our deep minds understand. They show up in our dreams, in the stories we love, and even in our everyday thoughts, helping us navigate our own individuation journey. Think about a wise old tree. What does it make you feel? Strong, steady, deeply rooted, maybe even ancient and full of secrets. In many cultures and in our dreams, a tree often stands for growth, life, and how everything is connected. It reminds us of our own roots, our own journey of growing tall and strong while staying connected to where we came from. When a tree appears in a dream, it might be telling you to stay strong or to remember your origins. Or what about a shining star in the night sky? A star often makes us think of hope, guidance, or a special wish. In stories, a star might lead a hero to their destiny, or represent a faraway dream. In your own mind, a star could be a symbol of your highest hopes, your true north, or the unique light you carry inside. It's a reminder to keep looking up, even when the path gets dark. These symbols are powerful because they don't just tell us something, they make us feel something. They connect us to those deep, shared patterns in the human mind that Jung talked about. A snake might symbolize change or healing, even if it scares us a little. A river might stand for the flow of life or new beginnings. By learning to notice these symbols in our lives and dreams, we get better at reading our own hidden map and understanding the whispers from our true self. They are like special keys to unlock the secret rooms we talked about earlier. The symbols we just talked about, like the wise old tree or the shining star, often appear most clearly in a very special place, our dreams. Carl Jung believed that our dreams are not just random pictures or silly stories our brains make up at night. Instead, he saw them as secret messages from our deepest, wisest self, what he called the collective unconscious. Imagine your inner self as a quiet, knowing guide, always trying to help you on your dangerous path of individuation. During the day, with all the noise and tasks of life, it's hard to hear this guide. But when you sleep, and your mind is calm, this inner guide can send you pictures and stories, your dreams. These dreams often use those very same symbols we discussed, like a hidden language just for you. For example, if you dream of a scary monster chasing you, it might not be a real monster. It could be your shadow, the parts of yourself you're trying to avoid, asking to be seen and understood. Or if you dream of flying high above the clouds, it might be your inner self telling you that you have the power to overcome challenges and reach new heights. Dreams can show us things about ourselves that we don't even know when we're awake. They can point out problems we need to solve, or give us courage when we feel weak. They are like little nightly maps, full of clues and hints about where we are on our journey and what we need to do next to become more whole. Learning to pay attention to your dreams, to remember them and think about what their symbols might mean, is like having a direct line to your inner wisdom. It's a powerful tool on the path to becoming your true self, helping you understand the twists and turns of your own unique story. As we learn to understand our dreams and the symbols within them, and as we bravely face our shadow and thoughtfully use our persona, something truly amazing happens. The path of individuation doesn't just help us understand ourselves better, it also shines a light on why we act certain ways with our families and friends. It helps us understand the hidden patterns in our relationships. Think about how sometimes you might react strongly to something a family member says, even if it seems like a small thing. Or maybe you find yourself always playing a certain role with your friends, like being the peacemaker or the joker. These patterns aren't random. Often they come from those hidden rooms in our minds, from our shadow or our persona, or from old stories we've told ourselves about who we are supposed to be. When you start to understand your own shadow, for example, you might realize that the anger you feel towards someone else is actually a mirror, reflecting a part of yourself you haven't accepted yet. Or by recognizing your persona, you can see if you're truly being yourself with your loved ones, or if you're still wearing a mask. This doesn't mean changing who you are for others, but becoming more genuinely you in all your connections. Individuation helps us untangle these knots. It allows us to see that sometimes, our strongest reactions to others are actually clues about our own inner world. By becoming more aware of our own inner workings, we can choose to respond in new, healthier ways, instead of just repeating old patterns. This leads to deeper, more honest relationships, where we can truly connect with others from a place of wholeness, not from behind a mask or from a hidden fear. It's like clearing the fog from a window, allowing you to see yourself and others much more clearly. After all the courage it takes to face our shadow, to understand our persona, to listen to our dreams, and to untangle the patterns in our relationships, what is the great reward of this dangerous path of individuation? It is a feeling of being truly whole and complete. Imagine having a big, beautiful puzzle of yourself, but many of the pieces are missing, or they're hidden under the couch, or some are even from a different puzzle entirely. For a long time, you might feel like something isn't quite right. Individuation is like finding all those missing pieces, carefully putting them in their rightful places, and seeing the full picture of who you are for the very first time. You bring together the bright, happy parts with the sad, quiet parts. You connect the brave, strong bits with the fearful, unsure bits. Even those parts of your shadow that you once pushed away, you now understand and accept as belonging to your unique picture. This feeling of wholeness isn't about being perfect, it's about being complete. It means accepting all of yourself, the light and the shadow, the public face and the private thoughts. When you feel whole, you stand a little taller. You feel more grounded, like that wise old tree with deep roots. You are less swayed by what others think, because you know who you are. There's a quiet strength that comes from having all your inner pieces fit together, working in harmony. It's like reaching the top of a mountain after a long, hard climb. The view is clear, and you can see how all the winding paths below led you to this beautiful place. This deep sense of peace and true self-acceptance is the ultimate prize on the dangerous path of individuation, allowing you to live your life authentically and fully. As we gently move through these ideas, it's important to let them settle, like stones dropped into a calm pond. This isn't a race to find quick answers, but an invitation to a deeper kind of thought. Allow your mind to wander a little, to connect these ancient wisdoms with the quiet whispers of your own life. Think about the stillness of a forest at dawn, before the world wakes up fully. In that quiet, you can hear the soft rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird. Our inner world has a similar quiet, a place where profound truths can be heard if we simply pause and listen. The journey of individuation asks us to seek out this inner quiet, to give ourselves space to reflect, to truly feel the weight and wonder of these ideas. It's a process of becoming aware, not just of what you think, but how you think, and why you feel what you feel. This kind of deep thinking, this reflective gaze inward, is like tending to a hidden garden. You pull out the weeds of old fears, you plant new seeds of understanding, and you watch patiently as new insights bloom. Jung's teachings are not just about psychology. They are about a way of seeing the world, and more importantly, a way of seeing yourself. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to trust the wisdom that lies within, and to understand that our lives are part of a much larger, more ancient story. Take a moment now, if you can, to simply breathe and let these thoughts gently unfold within you. This quiet contemplation is a vital part of the dangerous, yet beautiful, path we are exploring. It helps to ground these big ideas in the very real space of your own experience. Even with all this talk of maps and guides, the path of individuation can still feel a bit mysterious, like exploring a hidden cave. When you step into a cave, you don't always know what you'll find around the next bend. There might be sparkling crystals, or deep, silent pools, or passages that twist and turn into darkness. You carry a light, but it can only show you so much at once. This feeling of mystery is a natural part of the journey. Our inner world isn't a simple, straight road. It's full of surprises, sudden insights, and moments where things don't quite make sense at first. You might uncover a forgotten memory that changes how you see your past, or have a dream that leaves you wondering for days. These moments can feel strange, almost magical, because they come from a place deeper than our everyday thoughts. It's okay for this path to feel a little bit mystical, a little bit unknown. In fact, it's meant to. The most profound discoveries often happen when we let go of needing to know everything and simply allow ourselves to explore. Just like the ancient myths, which don't always give clear answers but invite us to feel and wonder, our own journey often speaks in riddles and symbols. So, embrace the mystery. Be curious about the shadows and the light you find within your own hidden cave. Trust that even when you don't fully understand everything, you are still moving forward, deeper into yourself. This sense of wonder and openness is a powerful lantern, helping you see the beauty and the hidden treasures along your unique and dangerous path. It reminds us that there is always more to discover. We've talked about the challenges, facing the shadow, seeing through the persona, and navigating the mysteries of our inner cave. Yes, the path of individuation is dangerous. It asks for courage, honesty, and a willingness to sometimes feel uncomfortable. But it's also important to remember that this journey is incredibly rewarding. It's the most precious adventure you can ever take to truly find your true self. Think of a treasure hunt. You might have to cross thorny bushes, climb steep hills, and follow tricky clues. It's hard work, and sometimes you might want to give up. But the idea of finding the treasure keeps you going. The treasure on this path isn't gold or jewels. It's something far more valuable. A deep, lasting sense of who you are, what you stand for, and what your unique purpose in this world might be. When you walk this path, you gain a quiet strength. You learn to trust your inner compass. You become more understanding, not just of yourself, but of others too, because you've explored the complex landscape of the human heart. The world around you might still have its storms, but inside, you'll have a steady calm, because you've built your house on strong foundations. This journey helps you live a life that feels authentic and true to you, not just a life that others expect. It's like finding your own special song and learning to sing it with your whole heart. Even with its twists and turns, its shadows and mysteries, the reward of individuation is a life lived with greater meaning, connection, and a profound sense of peace. It is the greatest adventure, leading to the greatest discovery, yourself. We've journeyed through the hidden rooms of the mind, faced the shadow, glimpsed behind the persona, and listened to the whispers of ancient myths and dreams. We've seen how this path, though dangerous and mysterious, promises the immense reward of wholeness and a life lived in truth. Now, as we near the end of our time together, I invite you to pause. To bring your attention back to that initial question we asked, why are you the way you are? Carl Jung gave us a map, but the walking of the path is always our own. His ideas are not just theories. They are tools for living, for understanding the deep currents that move within us and shape our world. So I ask you gently to look within. What part of your own hidden map feels ready to be explored? Is there a shadowy corner that needs a little light, or a mask you've been wearing that feels a little too tight? What story from your life, or what recurring dream, might be a symbol trying to tell you something important about your own unique journey? This isn't a task to be completed in a day, or even a year. Individuation is a lifelong adventure, a continuous unfolding. But it begins with a single step, the brave choice to look within, to listen, and to walk your own dangerous, beautiful path towards becoming the magnificent, whole person you truly are. Will you take that step today, and begin to explore the incredible universe that resides within you?